All right, well, it's 12:05. Hopefully some more people start to come into this, but thank you guys for coming and showing interest in joining an Interfraternity Council fraternity. Super excited to have you guys on campus in the fall. Congratulations on choosing Texas A&M University Commerce. I'm Nolan Myers, President of Interfraternity Council.
And I'm Connor Wiest. I'm the Vice President of Interfraternity Council.
And let's go ahead and get this presentation underway. So the Interfraternity Council serves as the governing body of the men's fraternities who are affiliated with the North American Interfraternity Conference. So on campus, we have 6 chapters who participate in IFC, and together we control everything that happens. So what is the Interfraternity Council? Like I said, it's a self-governing body of 6 international fraternities at TAMUC. We elect an executive board every year, which along with the committee chairs help govern the council. The committee chairs are made up of a collection of students from each chapter, so we have an unbiased opinion and can all work together to better the community. Fraternity and sorority life supports IFC through a director, an assistant director of fraternity and sorority life, an administrative assistant, and a graduate assistant. So here's our executive officers for the 2020 year. Like I said, I'm Nolan Myers, the president. It's Connor Wiest, our vice president in charge of recruitment. Parker Youngman is our secretary. Maxwell Perez, director of academics. Tay James, our director of marketing, and Dylan McKnight, director of scholarship. And the cool thing about our executive officers, we all come from different chapters, but we're working together to better the community as a whole.
Hey, Nolan. We can't see, it looks like you're just still stuck on the kind of like where you can present it. We can't see the slides that are moving that you just presented.
Let's see. Is this better?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So like I said, here's the executive officers. We're all from different chapters, but we're working together to make the community better as a whole. So here are our chapters on campus. I'll pause on these slides for just a minute if you want to follow them on any social medias. Their Twitter handles and Instagrams are listed below. So we have Alpha Gamma Rho, Delta Sigma Phi, and Delta Tau Delta on this slide. Feel free to grab any of those handles and Instagram names. I'll pause for just a minute as you guys do that. And feel free to take a picture of it if you like, if you want to go back to it later. And if you guys want to leave in the chat, if we get to the end and you missed anything, or you want me to go back, feel free to do that. We just want you guys to get the information and get from it what you want. So I'll go ahead and go on to the next slide. We also have Kappa Sigma, Sigma Chi, and Pi Kappa Alpha. All right, I'll move on. Connor, if you want to take it away from here.
So what is recruitment? Recruitment is basically, there's typically 2 recruitments. There's a fall recruitment, which is formal, which is mainly the one that we're discussing. And then there's a spring recruitment, which happens in the spring. Basically that recruitment is not formal. It's up to the chapters to decide kind of what they do during that week. But now on to discussing fall formal recruitment. Basically, you'll have chances to meet each fraternity, all 6 of them, and introduce yourselves, and they'll introduce themselves, and kind of you'll get to learn about, you know, what being Greek is and the advantages to being Greek and joining a Greek chapter. So 2020 IFC recruitment is Wednesday. It starts Wednesday, September 9th, and it ends Saturday, September 12th. Very nice. And then, so to register for IFC recruitment, if you go to that link, you can find that link if you just kind of Google TAMUC Greek or TAMUC fraternity chapters. You can kind of search around there and find the IFC registration link. And registration opens Monday, June 1st. The requirements prior to registration is you have to have a GPA of a 2.7 or a 2.5 GPA with 12 plus college credit hours. If you don't have 12 college credit hours, which is most of y'all coming in from high school, your high school GPA will determine your eligibility for recruitment. And then your registration is not complete until you pay the $20 non-refundable registration fee. That's kind of pay for Fall Rush. It's mainly because we provide you transportation and stuff like that. And the last day to register is the day before Fall Rush begins, which is that Tuesday, September 8th at 11:59. And then, so this is kind of the recruitment schedule. It's basically 4 days. So day one is an open house. You will meet all 6 of the IFC chapters. We'll kind of go over, you'll have like 30-minute sections, I believe, and you'll kind of go over a PowerPoint to kind of figure out what makes them different than all the other chapters and what defines them. When I rushed, this was kind of the same format that we did. I remember meeting a lot of the guys from each fraternity, and I think it was really nice. You kind of get to see the differences in each fraternity and kind of see what the benefits, and not necessarily the benefits, but the advantages of one fraternity has over the other and kind of their differences. On day 2, it's kind of the same thing, but you're going to, so some fraternities have houses and some do not. So you may be going to one house and then another location, like the Alumni Center or maybe the Rec Center, to kind of meet them in more of a casual area, kind of just get some more one-on-one time with the chapter members. And IFC will provide transportation, so it'll be bused around to the different locations. And then night 3 or day 3 is preference night. So you'll basically be meeting with 2 to 3 chapters, at least 2. This is kind of so you narrow down the chapters that are interested in you and that you're also interested in as well. And then day 4 is that final day. It's bid day. So the way bid day works is it's kind of a mutual agreement. A chapter will hand you a bid or give you a bid, and if you choose to accept that, then you choose to accept that. And then you also participate in the campus tradition of running of the hill. And here's some frequently asked questions. Do I need a letter of recommendation? We don't require any recommendations, but if you provide one, please send it to the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life, and it will be put in the chapter mailbox. What to wear during formal recruitment. So Wednesday, September 9th, that's open house, so business casual, kind of want to set your best foot forward. And then Thursday, September 10th, where you'll be kind of possibly outside or indoors, business casual or shorts and a nice shirt. It will be September, so it'll probably be hot. And then Friday, September 11th is that preference night, so I would wear casual, more relaxed. And then Saturday, that's September 14th, is bid day. So casual, it'll be hot, we'll be outside, and then must wear tennis shoes since we'll be running down the hill.
And to kind of piggyback off that, the reason why you have to wear tennis shoes, our bid day, I don't know if you guys are familiar with National Signing Day for like high school athletes going on to play in college, but oftentimes, especially with football recruits, they'll have the different hats of the teams that have offered them scholarships in front of them. And then when they decide to commit, they'll pick up a hat, put it on, and say, I'm committing to so-and-so university. We do something in a similar fashion where you'll be committing to a fraternity, if you will. So you'll put on the hat of the fraternity you choose. It'll be announced in front of all the fraternities, and you get to essentially run to your future brothers, which is really cool. And we do it inside the gymnasium here. So it's packed, it's a lot of fun, but you have to wear tennis shoes to be on the court. So it's a lot of fun.
What if I'm legacy So legacy is a potential new member who has a relative that was or a fraternity member. Fraternities are interested if you're a legacy. For instance, I am a legacy. My father was a member of Delta Tau Delta in the 80s at TAMUC. So I put that on my ICS registration form. Obviously, if you are a legacy of Sigma Chi, Pi Kappa for Delta Tau Delta, it's not a given that you will get a bid, but it is something that I would definitely put on there because it's obviously cool to know that your dad or family member was a part of that same fraternity.
And also along with that, just because you are a legacy doesn't mean you're getting a bid. I know Connor said that. But this is one of those things you need to let the fraternity know, either using ICS or if you forget to put it on your ICS form, just let them know at some point during the recruitment process.
Do I have to join a fraternity during formal recruitment? No, you do not. You can turn down bids if you would like. If you kind of decide towards the end of the week of, hey, maybe I'd rather wait till spring, which I've seen people do, you can do that. It's all kind of in your control on what you want to do. I've seen people think about rushing in the fall, but waiting till the spring just to see how their grades and stuff like that in their first year turn out. But you do not have to join a fraternity during formal recruitment. Do I have to attend all formal recruitment events? Yes, you do. Your participation is wanted and needed. Obviously, if you have class or family emergency or work, we try to work around that. But if you do not attend events each day without notifying Amanda Horn or us, then you will not be able to participate in Running of the Hill after you finalize your bid. How does the bid process work? As kind of mentioned before, it's a mutual agreement. So a fraternity that's interested in you will hand you a bid, and then it's up to you on if you would like to sign that bid or not. So you may end up getting 2 bids, and if you're interested in one fraternity, then you're obviously going to probably sign that bid and turn the other one down. How do I become do I have to become a brother if I accept the bid? No, so you basically, after signing a bid, you enter into a new member process, which during that process, you kind of start to learn about the fraternity you join and the general information that is important of being a possible active member of that fraternity. And typically these new member periods are 4 to 8 weeks. It just kind of depends on the chapter. And then after that period of time, then you would become an active member of that chapter. What if I do not have time? On average, you'll spend 2 to 5 hours per week with your fraternity. Sometimes it's with chapter meetings, new member meetings, philanthropy, and service events. I know myself, I work about 20 hours a week. I have a relationship, and I do 12 hours of classes, and I'm able to balance all of that with my fraternity, and I consider myself, I have more responsibilities. I'm the treasurer of my own fraternity, so I'm able to balance all my responsibilities and working 20 hours a week and making money to feed myself and balance all of that.
Yeah, like Connor, I also have a job. I'm involved in the Interfraternity Council. Obviously, I take 15 hours, and I'm in a few other organizations on campus, but I still find time for my fraternity. It's one of those things. Sometimes it can be difficult to balance your time and prioritize, but always you got to put academics first and find time where you have time to make do with what you have. And if you care about something, you're willing to sacrifice a little bit to make things work.
What if I want to participate in recruitment, but I don't know anyone? You don't have to know anybody to join recruitment or enter recruitment. I kind of think of recruitment as almost like orientation. You're there to kind of meet new people. I know some of the guys that I met during recruitment are now my fraternity brothers, and some other guys I've met and I know their names, and I see them at IFC meetings or around campus, and I say, hey, what's up? You don't have to know anybody in recruitment. I always kind of think about it as a place where you can meet new people and make new friends. No matter what chapter you're going to join or no matter what chapter they join, you can still know them and be acquaintances and stuff like that. What if I cannot afford being a fraternity? Fraternity members pay dues each semester, and the amounts will vary by chapter. This is an important question to ask if you decide to go through formal recruitment, is to ask what their chapter dues are and the amount they are. I think that's depending on the chapter, some dues will be more if they have a house because they have to pay to keep the lights on and stuff like that. But you do have to pay to be in a fraternity. It's not a crazy amount like the D1 schools where it's $2,000 a semester. It's always a very reasonable amount that is doable. But it is a good question to ask each fraternity.
Yeah, and some fraternities on campus also offer things like discounts for a GPA or paying early. It's one of those things that are fairly flexible, but you just have to be open with the chapters and find out how they do their payments and how much it is and how much you can afford. It's one of those things to be realistic with. Obviously, if you can't afford a fraternity, it's probably not the best idea to join one, but definitely be open and ask because more than likely they're willing to work with you and see what you can do. So I guess now, if y'all have any questions for us, leave them in the chat. We're more than welcome to answer anything that you feel the need to ask us. Also, our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are down there. Feel free to follow us, especially on Twitter. We'll put updates as far as recruitment and different things going on around campus on Twitter. It's probably the best way to find out news about IFC. Thank you guys so much for coming and listening to our presentation. If there's anything you want me to go back and visit on the slides, just feel free to put that in the chat. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and we'll stick around for any questions.
So I can't say the name. He said, with registration opening June 1st and ending September 8th, what will happen if the campus doesn't open in the fall? I think we kind of haven't had a discussion of if we have online classes again in the fall. I think that's something that we've kind of decided as a group that we're just kind of waiting to see. With fall recruitment, we have to kind of plan it out so early before orientations and everything that it's kind of just a time will tell situation. I think we're just trying to kind of, hopefully that doesn't happen, but if once that hits the road, I think we'll try to get around it.
I was on a Zoom meeting earlier this morning with the executive committee of the university, which included the university president. And they were saying they're really hopeful that we'll be open in the fall, even if it is sort of a hybrid social distancing type format. They're hoping to get students back on campus. Obviously, it's not 100% up to them. We still have to follow national and state guidelines and just keep everyone as safe as possible. The dates we have in place are set for us, assuming we go business as usual. But obviously, we're just kind of waiting on news to come on when we can open and what we can do. So yeah, great question. I guess we're just kind of waiting to see.
He also said, so if I'm interested, I should apply sooner or later. I would say, honestly, that's kind of up to you. I mean, since it's open all the way up until the day before fall rush, if you'd like to apply sooner, then that's fine. If you're worried about paying for registration and it not happening, then you can just wait till it gets closer to school. Obviously, I think we'll know hopefully an answer by the August and obviously before school starts and stuff like that. But yeah, it's kind of up to you type of thing.
And if you're worried about the $20, if you do end up registering and then it gets canceled, the fall rush gets canceled, we would issue refunds, so you wouldn't have to worry about losing money there if we don't have a fall recruitment. And then also, I would say if you're really interested in rushing, it would be a great idea to follow those social media accounts. You're going to find out a lot more information about the individual chapters doing that than by signing up. Basically, by signing up, it's just going to give your contact information to the chapters, which they probably won't do much with until it gets closer to fall. So it's really up to you to sign up sooner rather than later. It's completely up to you. But like I said, follow those social media accounts. That's where you're going to see a lot of information and understand a little bit more about each fraternity.
He also asked, does each fraternity have a set max to allow in? The answer to that is no, to my knowledge. I think that's kind of, as IFC, we don't limit it. I know Panhellenic and the sororities kind of have a max set, but as fraternities go, it's kind of up to the fraternity. If for some reason they only allowed 20 guys to get a bid, then that's on them. But from what I know, there's not set a max. He also asked, what made you choose the frat you were in? For me, I think legacy in a way had an influence on me. I saw what made my dad successful and made him a good leader in his job that he works in now. Also, I kind of went through a lot of the fraternities with an open mind and stuff like that. I kind of meshed with the guys in my fraternity. I'm trying not to sound like I'm trying to throw you a pitch for my own fraternity, but I felt like ours is a lot diverse and they're very open to everybody. And that was something that I was looking for, is acceptance and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of what made me choose the fraternity that I'm in.
Yeah, and for me, a lot of the same with Connor. It was just I really got along with the guys I met from my fraternity as I was going through the recruitment process. And through the recruitment process, you'll notice you're kind of getting a sales pitch from every fraternity, if you will. And I really found my fraternity, my group of guys, really genuine, and figured it would be the best place for me to fit in. And it's really about seeing yourself at home, where you can become a better man, whether it be socially on campus, professionally through connections you're going to have with alumni. Really, a lot of people come into college thinking fraternities are all about, the social life, partying, doing that type of stuff. But in reality, there's a lot more that goes into fraternities that you don't see on the news, whether it be philanthropy, helping out the community with the food pantry, elementary schools, just doing stuff around the campus and the community. And that's something you should really look into, is every fraternity is going to offer, a social life. But where do you see yourself best fitting? That's what sold me on my fraternity. These are all really good questions, man. It's something you should definitely be asking every fraternity at formal recruitment. You'll get a lot of great answers and hopefully find yourself a home.
I don't see any other questions.
Are there any slides I need to go back to?
They said this was good. Thanks again.
Awesome.
I appreciate it. All right.
Looks like Jordan's the last one. Jordan, you got any questions or anything?
You said no questions.
Awesome. Well, I think this is the end of our presentation. So thanks for coming, man.